welcome to another Adobe Premiere tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to make a simple cinematic title sequence for your upcoming projects. So what you need to do is you need to go to the Import Media window, which is here in the bottom left. Press right click with the mouse, go up to New Items and then select Black Video. And what this will do, it will generate a black video with a duration of 5 seconds default. Then what you can do is you can drag that onto the timeline. For my video, I'm going to put mine up to about 7 seconds, but you can choose to have yours longer or shorter. So my black video is now set to 7 seconds with duration. Then what we need to do is go down to the type tool, which is this one here. Go up to this window here and press left click, and then it will allow you to type what your title wants. So I'm going to put Bedford College. Then what we need to do is we need to go over to the Effects Control tab, which is on the left hand side. See the text here, expand that. Then here you can choose the font styles that you want your title to be. Here is where you can select the font size, so I like to leave mine on 90, so that gives me room to make it bigger or smaller if I want to. And then here with tracking, I've set it to 300. What this does is basically there's a bit of spacing in between each letter, so it can be seen and looks cleaner as well. But as you can see now, the title that I've typed in is slightly to the right and is not centered correctly, but that can be easily fixed if you press this graphics tab up here. Then go down to the Align and Transform section and then simply press vertical center and horizontal center, and it will do it all for you. I'm going to switch back to the effects tab as well because we're going to need to come back to that later towards the end of the video. Then what we need to do, minimize the text, and then we need to go down to opacity, which is here. So make sure this line is set at the beginning of your project again, and always make sure that this box with your text in is also the same duration as the black video underneath it. So what we're going to do to start the opacity off is we want to press this stopwatch right here, and we want to change this from 100 to 0. Then you need to go to the 2 second mark and change that to 100. Then again you need to go to the 4 second mark, and then again you can either type in 100 and press enter and it will put the keyframe in for you, or you simply press this one and it will add the keyframe with the desired opacity already set. And then at the 6 second mark we want to bring it back to 0. So now I'm going to play this back for you so you can see what that looks like. So as you can see, it's a simple fade in, fade out sort of effect that I'm going for on the title sequence. But as you can see there, it was a little bit slow and almost a little bit too choppy in the sense of how it fades in and fades out. To make it look a little bit better, what you can do is you can see the keyframes are all here. Press the left mouse button and then drag and make a rectangle box around the keyframes. And as you can see, wait until they're all highlighted blue. What you then need to do is you need to choose any keyframe you like, then go down to and then select Auto Bezier, so it's that one here. So now you can see that they've transformed from diamonds into circles. So if I play the video back, you can now see that that fading at the beginning of the title and at the end is just so much more smoother and looks more professional with the Auto Bezier selected. Then what we need to do is we need to minimize this opacity in the effects control, and then we need to go over to the motion tab. Make sure as well that you always keep bringing this back to the beginning of your project, because when keyframing it's very important to always remember to bring it back so we know exactly where we are and what we need to do. So when we go down to motion, what I'm going to do is I want to make my font gradually get bigger throughout the title sequence. So simply do this again, bring that line all the way back to the beginning of your project, press the stopwatch on scale, leave that at 100, that's absolutely fine. Go over to the 6 second mark, which is just here. Then I'm going to change that to 110. So now when I play the video back for you again, you can now see that my title is getting gradually bigger as it gets on, and then it fades out like it had been before. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add an effect on this to make it look even better than what it currently does. So as you can see on my effects on the right hand side, I've already typed in blur. So you can either type in blur and then you can find it through this means, or if you need to do it through the other way, you can go into the video effects folder, look for blur and sharpen, and then come down and look for the Gaussian blur, which is this one highlighted here. What you simply do is hold left click, drag that onto your text, and then now in the effects control you can see now we can tinker around with the blurriness. What we need to simply do, again, bring that line all the way back to the beginning. So we want the beginning to be set to 50, so just punch in 50. Also, again, make sure that stopwatch is selected, or it won't register the keyframe. Then at the 2-second mark, I want it to be set at 0 again. So I'll punch in 0. And then at the 4-second mark, I also need it to be set at 0. So again, I can simply type that 0 in or just press add keyframe. And then at the 6-second mark, we want it to go back up to 50. So now what I'm about to show you is my very quick and very simple way of making a title sequence. But as you're about to see, it is very easy to make a very professional looking intro. So let's watch that all back after putting all of the keyframes in. And there we have it. That's a quick and very simple way of creating a cinematic looking title sequence on Adobe Premiere. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you again on another Adobe tutorial.